Hay milonga de amor, hay temblor de gotas. Para vos,
de Argentina, Buenos Aires.
hay milonga de amor, hay temblor de gotas.
De Argentina, Buenos Aires, en el puerto de Santa María del Guanay.
Hay milonga de amor, para vos.
De Argentina, Buenos Aires.
This is a short introduction to the Global Eco-Village Network, also called GEN, which brings together eco-villages around the planet, places, settlements where people have decided to take their future into their own hand, to come together and consciously design their settlement, their systems, their culture in a way that regenerates nature around them, that regenerates the way they relate to each other and regenerates life within them. So regenerating thriving communities on all levels. We have eco-village networks in Africa, Latin America, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and we have an emerging network at the moment in Gen Fertile Crescent in the Middle East. All across Gen, we have the youth networks of Gen, Next Gen, which bring in the vibrancy of youth. Gen was created first in 1995 and has spread since then to reach out to more than 10,000 communities around the world. We have intentional eco-villages where people consciously come together to start afresh, maybe after disaster hit, or in deciding that they want to build a different kind of life. Intentional eco-villages. More and more Gen works with traditional villages, existing settlements that transition to become recognized as eco-villages, where people decide that they want to keep what is precious to them for future generations. And urban eco-villages, where people come together to bring community and nature back into urban centers. We work in a holistic way, bringing together the social, the cultural, ecology and economy. All four pieces of the puzzle are necessary if we want to have a holistic pathway towards regenerative futures. And we know today, we know how to bring solutions in all these areas. We know how to rebuild soils, how to replenish water tables, how to harness energy in a renewable way, how to create closed loops around waste, how to regenerate ecosystems. We know how to build thriving communities where people take decisions together, bring honesty, trust and transparency back to human relationships, bring solidarity, care and share back to human relationships, bring a place for everyone so that all the voices can be heard. We know how to celebrate our cultures across the networks of Gen so that each of us can be proud again of the roots that we carry and at the same time embrace the global culture that is coming into the forefront now. We know how to build an economy that allows us to marry our love for the planet with our need to make a living. Gen showcases how to live low impact, high quality lifestyle to implement the Sustainable Development Goals now. And currently we go out to the world to speak to governments and invite them to integrate eco-village development programs as an integral part of their strategies to implement the climate change agreements. It is possible for us to come fully home to this planet. Let's unleash the power of community together.
On a global level, we have divorced ourselves from the natural world by misusing resources to fuel more consumption, driving climate change, and threatening all life. 50% of biodiversity on the planet has been killed off in the last 40 years. Natural disasters continue to devastate with greater frequency and intensity. Only 60 years of topsoil left with the current level of farming practices. We know all this, yet on so many levels we continue with business as usual. Why? How can we reawaken to our capacity as healers and guardians for regeneration of life? How can we harness one of the most underutilized resources of our time, the good intentions of citizens, and our wish to be part of the solution? Eco-villages all around the world have been pioneering beautiful alternatives and innovative solutions beyond the systems and structures that are collapsing around us. What is an eco-village? A community using participatory design processes to integrate ecological, economic, social, cultural, and whole systems dimensions of sustainability for a regenerative future. The Global Eco-Village Network acts as the connective tissue between all of these communities, with all of the wisdom and experience in a global network to help transition to resilience on local and national levels. Let us introduce you to the Eco-Village Development Program. The Eco-Village Development Program, the national implementation of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the climate agreements, catalyzes the power of community. Step 1. Inviting and participating. Invite strong communities within a country to learn more about the eco-village movement, explaining the process of eco-village design, sharing inspirational examples from around the world, showing how eco-village is a process, not an outcome. Communities decide whether they wish to join and start to consciously design their own pathway into a sustainable and regenerative future. Step 2. Planning and integrating. Facilitate a 5 to 7 day eco-village development training for local stakeholders within each of the pilot villages to support the identification of their needs, assets, and leverage points. The community formulates the first phase of their eco-village development plan. This includes developing a fundraising plan and building alliances with local and national authorities, NGOs, and social enterprises to support implementation of the development plan. Step 3. Training and implementing. Facilitate demand-driven trainings to prepare for implementation. All stakeholders implement Phase 1 of the Eco-Village Development Plan. Step 4. Measuring and evaluating. Measure and evaluate the outcomes to see what works and what needs to be improved. Share inspiration and change stories to celebrate wins and gather feedback. Step 5. Refining and scaling. Refine the plan, continuing with implementation. Now that this eco-village is up and running and regenerative development is well underway, we identify the next round of villages for the program and start the process again. Global Eco-Village Network catalyzes the power of community for a regenerative future. To learn more about the Eco-Village Development Program, visit ecovillage.org/EDP.